Everyone loves snow and ice levels. Whether you're riding a baby polar bear in Crash Bandicoot 2 or traversing an ice-covered post-apocalyptic Earth in Kirby 64, we can't seem to get enough of the chilly atmosphere and serene or joyful music. I'm CrashLove 37 here with Johnny Reps, and this is CrashLove Gaming's Top 10 Snow and Ice Levels. We're limiting ourselves to one entry per franchise and not counting entire games that take place in a snowy environment, so let's get started with number 10.
The River Thames is the 10th location from the PlayStation 3 launch title Resistance Fall of Man. It contains 3 separate missions: Burning Bridges, On the Ice, and Giant Slayer. In this location, players must first complete one of the most difficult missions in the game, holding off a seemingly endless supply of Chimeran foot soldiers, stalkers, and even a Widowmaker, all while your fellow humans attempt to set charges to destroy a bridge and stop the advance of Chimeran Goliath. After this, you must traverse a destroyed subway to get on top of the iced-over River Thames, defeating the final remaining enemy Goliath, using a commandeered stalker of your own. This location features a variety of what makes the first Resistance game so good, including close quarters combat, mild jump scares, giant monsters of course, and difficult yet rewarding gameplay, in addition to large-scale and hectic battles. What is unique about this level, and one of the reasons why it is on this list, is how it is a winter-themed level at all. In Resistance Fall of Man, the Chimera have a unique ability to terraform the Earth using a variety of strange and ambiguous methods related to the massive towers that they construct, unearth all over England. But that's getting too deep into the story for now. Let's just suffice it to say that the Chimera have a very high metabolism and tend to thrive in cold climates, so they terraformed the entirety of London and its surrounding areas into a permanent winter-like state. This leads to some very memorable segments when you end up fighting in tundra-like conditions in and around London in the middle of July. Oh, and it also has probably one of the best cutscenes in the game at the end. So, yeah, definitely check it out.
I was obsessed with the Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, so of course I played the shit out of this game. The level that stands out most in my memory is, if you've been paying attention you could probably guess, the snow level. This level has snowman robots that shoot missiles, bulldozers try to run you over, and the boss is a wolf in a leather jacket. When you finish the level, this happens. What even is that? It also has some nice looking scrolling effects for the NES.
This level is extremely unique. It starts with a flashback sequence where you are literally playing a short segment from the original Metal Gear Solid game for PlayStation 1. After this, Snake is dropped in the middle of a blinding snowstorm. Once you're through navigating this, you're placed smack dab in the middle of a perfectly recreated area from the first game, only with the PlayStation 3's graphics. After going through a lengthy indoor section, an excellent and unique sniper fight with Crying Wolf ensues before you finally finish her off and take her railgun weapon. After a lot more of overly drawn-out storytelling and several boss fights, we get to see the awesome scene of Raiden holding back the massive Outer Haven to save Solid Snake's life. What makes the level so cool for longtime Metal Gear Solid fans is that it's the ultimate fan service. How many other games have a fully recreated level from one of the series' old games that's fully upgraded and integrated into a new game 2 generations later in such beautiful detail? Don't answer that, because I'm not sure there are any other ones. The level is ripe with flashbacks and the series' well-known detailed storytelling, as well as a variety of gameplay styles from stealth to boss fights to sniper battles. Very cutscene heavy and not for those who dislike breaks in the action, but who are we kidding, all of Metal Gear Solid 4 is like that. This level showcases all of what made Metal Gear Solid 4 a certifiable classic.
Snowpeak Ruins in Twilight Princess isn't your standard dungeon. It's a haunted mansion. Okay, so was the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time, but this one is more haunted. So you meet this Yeti person who came down with some type of illness due to her exposure to the Mirror of Twilight, which is the MacGuffin of this game. So you go through the mansion, solving slidey block puzzles, swinging from chandeliers, doing your usual Zelda things, but then you get to this mini-boss room. You think, oh shit, it's a Dark Nut, but nope, it's this guy. He's kind of like a mixture of a Dark Nut, Dodongo, and Lizalfos, but he has a ball and chain like this guy in A Link to the Past. So you roll and swing around dodging his ball and smack him in the tail. He's not that hard, but then you get this, a motherfucking ball and chain. You then proceed to wreck everything's shit. Enemies in your way? Smush those bitches. Ice wall blocking your path? Knock that fucker down. Eventually, after eating some disgusting looking soup, Mrs. Yeti Monster feels better and leads you to the mirror. Oh cool, thank you so much, horrifying snow monster. You feeling okay? Oh my god. So then she turns into this giant ice vase that you smack around with your ball until she goes all Psycho Mantis, and you have to use the ice on the ground as a mirror to dodge these falling glaciers. It's definitely an interesting boss battle when you get this lovely ending. Did I mention that you get here by snowboarding?
Planet Grelbin is the third from Final Planet in the 2003 PlayStation 2 game Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. On this level, the player is met with a huge Arctic tundra of a planet covered in two types of enemies, the Y period, E period, T period, I period, S's, that's Yetis, I guess. I mean, of course that's what it is, and Arctic Leviathans. The level is well known for being the farming ground of moonstones, a collectible item needed to complete 2 story missions on the planet, as well as being tradable for bolts, which is one of the game's forms of currency. It also features several side missions, another hilarious meeting with the so-called Zen Master, and further story progression that sets up the game's final levels. The sheer amount of space and things to do on this level were impressive for an early to mid-cycle PlayStation 2 game. The level contains all of the fun and addictive gameplay that Ratchet and Clank is known for. Everything from intimidating yet purposefully ridiculous enemies and the way they move, to the dialogue.
We've got more moonstones.
No, you have not.
What?
To even the possibility of literally getting frozen into an ice cube. Everything in this level is executed perfectly. The massive tundra with its almost infinite supply of Yetis, is also the best location in the game for upgrading weapons, or simply just wreaking havoc if that's your thing.
That's right, Cool Cool Mountain. Snowman's Land might be a better level technically, but Cool Cool Mountain is a lot more memorable. It's got this slide with the penguin race, and you can throw this little shit off the mountain. For the missions, you slide down the slide, pretty basic. Then you have to return this baby penguin to its mama.
Who's watching these babies?
The fat one's watching the little one?
Then you have to slide down the slide again, this time racing that negligible parent penguin. Collect the red stars, help this poor snowman find his head. Then for the last star, you have to make your way down to this little area and show off your parkour skills. There's not much in the way of enemies except for these flowers and little hopping snowmen, but the real treachery comes with the terrain. If you're not careful, you'll slide right off into oblivion.
One of the most underrated and perhaps best kart racers of all time, Crash Team Racing for the PlayStation 1 has a great number of racetracks that are awesome. The Crash Bandicoot franchise itself is somewhat known for having a penchant for making great winter-themed levels. In fact, Polar Pass isn't even the only snow track in Crash Team Racing. But it is the best, and definitely in the top kart racing levels of all time on top of that. The home track of Polar the Polar Bear, Polar Pass has combined great level design, creative obstacles, fun shortcuts, and even some cameos / fan service to Crash fans. The branching pathways, high-speed jumps, and narrow sections make it the perfect location for CTR's combat racing antics. It also has my personal favorite shortcut in the game, partially because I was so damn good at making it and my brother could never do it. When I was a kid, I loved playing CTR, and Polar Pass was one of my favorite levels to race on without a doubt.
Of course this level's on the list. Donkey Kong Country looked amazing for a Super Nintendo game, and you really see it here. This background looks fantastic. It's like a moving painting. It's basically what you'd expect from Rare's Donkey Kong series, until this happens. It transitions from a sunny day to a bit darker, some snow in the background, then to a full-on blizzard. It's so smooth and natural, and this was 1994 on a 16-bit console. This level looks great, plays great, and really elicits the feeling of exploring a snow-covered mountain. Granted it's in 2D, but still.
Part of what makes this level so damn memorable is the music. Rumored to have been composed by Michael Jackson, listening to it you can clearly see why. But the music has never actually been confirmed to be his, the level is still amazing nonetheless. The ultimately pointless but still fun and unique snowboarding section at the beginning of the level gives way to a maze of caverns to navigate. It all culminates in the requisite Robotnik boss fight at the end of the level, one of the best in the game. The best, Jerry. Best. Anyway, the level design is interesting and fun. It's just what you want in a Sonic game. It's high speed and challenging throughout, with non-stop action till the end. The level is widely regarded as one of the best platforming Sonic and snow-themed levels of all time. And here at CrashLove Gaming, we can't help but agree. That's why it's number 2 on our list. Nice.
Dishonorable mentions: Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, Eskimo Roll. I mean, take your pick. Pretty much every single snow level in this game absolutely sucks, but I chose this one specifically not only because of the awful camera and terribly controlling atmosphere, but also because of the nonsensically placed former bosses from previous games as level obstacles. I mean, what the fuck is Tiny doing here? And how the hell did Dingodile get from there to there so damn quick? Terrible.
How the fuck is anyone supposed to fight on this stage? With every console generation comes games based on Star Wars. One of the most memorable scenes in the entire series is the battle on the snow planet Hoth. Ever since the movie was released in 1980, video games have been trying to emulate the breathtaking visuals and action from the opening scene in Empire Strikes Back. My first video game experience with Hoth was in Shadows of the Empire for Nintendo 64. I remember renting the game, playing that first level, then buying the game. Not only can you fly around shooting AT-ATs, AT-STs, and probe droids, but you can actually hook the legs of the AT-ATs and pull them down like in the movie. That might not be a big deal today, but it was amazing in 1996. The level looked fantastic for its time. It's just too bad that the rest of the game was shit.
Well, this has been Johnny Reps
And CrashLove 37.
from CrashLove Gaming, and there's our top 10 list. We hope you liked it. If you liked it, make sure to like the video. Make sure to share the video on your social media. If you hated the video, make sure to also like the video, but also leave us a comment and tell us how much it sucked. You can dislike the video too. There's that option. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also on Twitch. The links are in the description box. Thank you for watching, and like always, have a good one.